That sound you're hearing isn't music. It isn't a special effect added for drama. It's Saturn itself, a giant world more than 1 billion kilometers away, sending powerful radio waves into the darkness of space. It sounds almost like a scream echoing through the void. For hundreds of years, Saturn has been admired as one of the most beautiful objects in the sky. Through a telescope, it looks elegant and peaceful, a golden planet wrapped in shining rings, floating silently among the stars. But Saturn hides a different story. Behind that beauty is a world of chaos. This planet is so large that more than 700 Earths could fit inside it. It spins at incredible speed, so fast that it bulges at the middle and flattens at the poles. Saturn isn't a calm celestial jewel. It's a restless giant powered by forces that are almost impossible to imagine. The first thing everyone notices is the rings. From Earth, they look smooth and solid, like giant golden bands circling the planet. They seem delicate, almost magical. Get closer and the illusion disappears. The rings are actually a massive storm of ice and rock. Some pieces are as small as grains of dust. Others are larger than mountains. All of them are racing around Saturn at tremendous speeds, crashing into each other, breaking apart and coming together again. The ring system stretches across nearly 300,000 kilometers of space, yet in many places it is thinner than a 10-story building. It looks beautiful from a distance. Inside it, it would be deadly. But the biggest mystery is how these rings formed. Scientists believe they may be the remains of a lost moon. Long ago, a moon wandered too close to Saturn's powerful gravity. It crossed an invisible boundary known as the Roche limit, the point where a planet's gravity becomes stronger than the moon's ability to hold itself together. What happened next was catastrophic. Saturn tore the moon apart, piece by piece. The debris spread out and formed the rings we see today. The breathtaking structure that fills us with wonder may actually be the remains of a world that no longer exists, a beautiful monument built from destruction. And the surprises don't end there. At Saturn's North Pole, something strange has been spinning for decades. A giant hexagon. Not a drawing, not an optical illusion, a real six-sided storm larger than 4 Earths placed side by side. Scientists have studied it for years, yet nobody fully understands why it exists. In a universe where storms usually form circles, Saturn somehow created a perfect geometric shape in its clouds. At the center of this hexagon sits another storm, a massive swirling vortex that looks like a giant eye staring into space. It never seems to blink. It never seems to stop. It's one of the strangest weather systems ever discovered. Then, every few decades, Saturn reminds everyone how powerful it truly is. A colossal storm erupts in its atmosphere. Scientists call it the Great White Spot. This isn't an ordinary storm. It can grow so large that it wraps around the entire planet. Lightning flashes through the clouds with energies thousands of times stronger than lightning on Earth. Deep gases rise from Saturn's interior, transforming parts of the planet into a bright white swirl visible across millions of kilometers. For a brief time, the giant awakens, and then it slowly settles back into silence. But Saturn's story isn't only about the planet itself. It rules over a vast family of moons, more than 140 of them, and one moon stands out from all the rest: Titan. At first glance, Titan feels strangely familiar. It has clouds, it has rain, it has rivers, it even has lakes and seas. It's the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere, and the air pressure on its surface is greater than Earth's. For a moment, it almost feels like another home, but appearances can be deceiving. The rivers aren't made of water. The lakes aren't filled with water. The rain isn't water either. On Titan, liquid methane and ethane flow across the landscape instead. It is a frozen version of Earth where familiar shapes hide an alien reality, a place that looks alive, yet remains completely hostile to everything we know. The temperature here is around minus 179 degrees Celsius. The lakes are not made of water, they are filled with liquid methane and ethane. In this cold, even the idea of warmth feels impossible. Jump into one of Titan's lakes and you wouldn't simply freeze, you would become as brittle as glass. The ground beneath your feet would be just as strange. Instead of sand, enormous dunes made of dark hydrocarbon particles cover the surface. In simple terms, giant fields of plastic-like grains stretch for hundreds of kilometers, shaped by alien winds under an orange sky. Titan feels like a world trying to imitate life. It has rivers, it has rain, it has weather, yet everything is built from the wrong ingredients. It is a place that looks familiar while reminding you that you are very far from home. But Saturn has another moon, and its story may be even more incredible. Far from the giant planet drifts Enceladus, a small white moon wrapped in ice. For years, it seemed unremarkable, just another frozen object in the darkness. Then scientists noticed something extraordinary. Cracks near its south pole were spraying enormous jets of water into space. It was as if the moon itself was breathing. These giant plumes shoot hundreds of kilometers above the surface, releasing water vapor, ice particles, and organic compounds into the void. The source of this activity lies deep below. Saturn's immense gravity constantly squeezes and stretches Enceladus, creating heat inside the moon. Beneath its frozen shell is a vast ocean of liquid water hidden from the cold vacuum of space. And this is where things become truly fascinating. That ocean contains water, it contains heat, it contains salts, it contains organic molecules, the building blocks associated with life. On Earth, wherever liquid water exists, life has an incredible ability to find a way. Could the same be true beneath the ice of Enceladus? No one knows, but somewhere in that dark ocean, far from sunlight, hidden beneath kilometers of ice, there may be something alive. Perhaps not intelligent, perhaps not complex, but alive. The possibility alone changes everything. Saturn stopped being just a giant planet the moment we realized its moons might hold environments where life could exist. To uncover these secrets, humanity relied on a robotic explorer named Cassini. For 13 years, Cassini traveled among Saturn's rings and moons, sending back breathtaking discoveries. It revealed worlds nobody expected and transformed our understanding of the outer solar system. But every mission has an ending. By 2017, Cassini was running out of fuel. NASA faced a difficult decision. If the spacecraft lost control, it could accidentally crash into moons like Enceladus and contaminate them with microbes from Earth.
The risk was too great, so a final command was sent. Cassini's last mission would be its own destruction. On September 15, 2017, the spacecraft began its final descent. It plunged into Saturn's atmosphere at incredible speed. As heat and pressure built around it, Cassini continued transmitting information back to Earth. Even as it was being torn apart, it kept doing the job it was built for. Second by second, the signal grew weaker. Then it vanished. The spacecraft melted, broke apart, and disappeared into the planet it had spent more than a decade studying. Its mission was over. Its discoveries were not. Yet even Saturn itself is not eternal. Those magnificent rings that have amazed humanity for centuries are slowly disappearing. Tiny particles from the rings are constantly falling into the planet below in a process scientists call ring rain. Little by little, Saturn's gravity is pulling its greatest feature apart. One day, the rings will be gone. Not tomorrow, not next year, but in cosmic terms, surprisingly soon. Roughly 100 million years from now, Saturn may lose the stunning halo that makes it instantly recognizable. The masterpiece will fade, the giant will remain, and future civilizations, if any exist, may never know Saturn as we do today. Perhaps that's what makes it so special. Nothing lasts forever. Not planets, not rings, not spacecraft, not even civilizations. For a brief moment in cosmic history, humanity arrived at the right time to witness one of the universe's greatest sights, a giant world surrounded by shining rings, hiding oceans beneath ice, storms larger than planets, and mysteries still waiting to be solved. Saturn reminds us that the universe is both beautiful and dangerous, familiar and strange, and maybe that's why we can't stop looking up. If you enjoyed this journey through Saturn's hidden wonders, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next adventure. The universe is filled with stories stranger than fiction, and we are only beginning to discover them.